Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
thank you for listening.
Dane, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Another great one tonight. I'm ready.
The first one was pretty good, huh? Like, Carly
Yeah,
was amazing,
yeah,
right? Local hometown hero, right? So
absolutely. And we got a great guest host with us as well today.
another hometown hero, Coach Justin. What's up, brother? How you doing?
You guys keep giving me these big interview like prep things, and I'm like, no, it's just not. I'm good, guys. How are you doing? It's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks for
man.
joining us on this one.
I
Yeah,
enjoy.
hey, Dane, I was gonna ask you just a quick question because I saw it on Facebook the other day, and I was saving it for this opportunity.
Yeah,
That now
yeah.
you live in the world of fathers with daughters driving. How clenched were you in the back seat of that car, just rolling
Oh
around
yeah,
yesterday?
yeah. I could feel the hair turning gray.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
it's
just
man. I'd like to lie to you and say
yeah.
it's
I,
better,
I had
but
to
it doesn't. It's just
yeah.
terrifying all the way
I,
around.
I had to find a good upholstery guy as I was digging in.
Well, I guess maybe I'm lucky because Tatum, when she drives, she goes like this. She goes about 6 miles an hour, so she's going like this. She's the only person I've ever like had to
Can't
ask to
reach the
speed up.
pedals. She can't
Yes,
reach the pedals, so
she
it's
has to
fine.
speed up. It's like speed up, Tatum. You're going too slow. I mean, we're on the highway going 37. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, Justin, I'm glad you're here, man. Speaking of champions, we look at Coach Justin. We've all times nicknamed you the champ. Before we bring on our guest here in a minute, I got to tell you, we're bringing on SJ Geurin in a second, who needs no introduction. I'm looking up some facts. There's some facts about championship mindset. So I want to kind of shift for a second, get real serious. I learned some stuff this week about championship mindset. There's 5 things champions are known for. And Dane and Justin, you can tell me if I'm wrong on this: resilience, discipline, confidence, focus, and the most important, in my opinion, is sportsmanship. 5 key characteristics of championship mindset. Would you guys both agree, Justin?
Absolutely. It anybody can be a player, anybody can be an athlete, but a champion is they're bred internally to do that. They have to want to be that level. So yeah,
Yeah,
I 100% agree with you. One of the best things I've ever heard, and I actually have used this analogy, was that a player or an athlete does something until they get it right. A champion does something until they can't get it wrong. And
I
yeah.
love
that's
that.
that's been an amazing just that mentality is, I mean, yeah, that hits it right on the head what you said.
Yeah,
Dane,
absolutely.
what do you think, Dane, on that?
Well, the one that always sticks out in my head, and I tell my daughter, is discipline. Everybody has the motivation, but it takes discipline to get you to that next level. Doing stuff whenever you or somebody else sees it, you're doing the boring stuff. And that just goes right into what Justin just said about doing it. You can't get it wrong. So the discipline's where it's at. Everybody's motivated. Everybody has the carrot dangling in front of them.
Right.
So
Speaking of champions and discipline and someone who has demonstrated it all,
yeah,
we've been waiting a long time for this one, guys.
yeah.
This is a special one, right? So I'm chomping at the bit. Dane and Justin, I'm proud to welcome the champ herself, recent transfer to Auburn, the one and
Yep.
only SJ Geurin. SJ, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
Yes, it's
For
amazing.
having me.
SJ, we are thrilled. Like I said, we've all got to see you play many times, and this is a true bucket list item for us. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I know it's a busy season. There's really no off season in softball, but maybe those few days between like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we kind of get to not practice as hard. So thank you. The format, SJ, just so you know, we've all got a few questions for you. Justin's going to take the lead on 2 questions, and we're gonna have some fun. So Justin, you want to kick us off with your question set, man?
Yeah, absolutely. So, SJ, I've been, excuse me, fortunate enough to do a couple of these with Dan and Josh, and I always get to be able to come in and talk to the current athletes, and I don't really get to talk to the older people because of what I do, and everything like that. So, as I have girls getting ready to transition into their college recruiting life, things like that. I love to talk to athletes of your level because I literally steal everything that you tell me and I go and tell them and I take it as my own because that makes me look smart. So one thing that I would really like to know, because I know as an athlete, you've had probably more coaches than you can remember tell you, reinvent the wheel. It is what it is, whatever. What did you do and how did you push yourself to be this level of athlete, to be this elite caliber of an athlete? And again, I'm going to steal all this, so tell me whatever you want.
So when I was getting recruited, I was still back in the 8th grade when they could do that. So I
Mm.
had like all these schools started in 6th grade calling me, and I'm just this little 6th grader. I just started playing softball like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, oh, this is fun, I guess. And then my mom, she played and coached at the University of Tulsa. And so she was kind of like, this is serious. Like, you need to start, like, you need to decide now. Are you going to play in college? Are you going to go for this? Or we can just tell them all no, and you can just do this for fun. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let's do it. And I'm this little 6th grader having to make this big decision. And so then she was like, all right, we're going to have to work. Like, you
Okay.
got to work. And she kind of, her and my dad both drove me in those first couple of years to where it was like, well, I kind of want to sit on the couch and watch TV. No, you need to go practice. And so it got to that point where I was like, somebody would get a hit off of me, and I was like, I don't like that. I was like, I need to work on that. And so, like, I wasn't allowed to complain about something.
I like that. Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, well, she hit my changeup. And my mom would say, all right, let's go work on it. You're not,
Mm.
don't just complain about not doing anything about it. So it's like, all right. So that kind of has been instilled to me most of my life. So getting into like college and working towards that goal, it's very like internal. And it's just something that I can thank my parents for
Sounds to me
instilling
like a
that in me.
championship mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So SJ, you said this. It's and Justin, we just said it. Don't you SJ? You practiced until you couldn't get it wrong. Is that basically what
Mhm.
you're saying?
I
Is that right?
pretty much did.
Justin, there you go, dude. You just said that, man. Still,
Yeah.
still in the thunder. Go ahead with you, Justin.
Well, and you pitchers are a rare breed anyway. I dare you to hit it, dare you to do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I get it, I get it. No, that's awesome, and that's, I mean, obviously things that I try to instill in them as well. And the day and age with us all having teenage daughters, things like
Yeah.
that. It's sometimes this is more important than going and hitting a cage or anything like
Yeah.
that. And this isn't going to get them to come watch you. So thank you for reiterating what I have said, because now they'll listen, because to me, I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. But so being where you're at now and being able to, look back, thank my parents, thank, yourself, obviously, first and foremost, for putting in the work. We all have a path that we wish we would have taken differently, or things that we could have maybe changed to make it easier and not had the hiccups that we've had along the way. Would you have changed anything? I mean, let's say the outcome's the exact same. We're exactly where we are right now. Would you have changed anything to get to where you are?
Mm, I believe that God does things and puts them in their life, and it just shapes who we are. I think I would have enjoyed the experiences more, like getting to be a
Mm,
7th grader. This is a funny story. I was touring when they were building Davis Diamond at A&M, and they had like Amanda Scarborough and Jen Schroe just casually come in that day. And I was just like getting a tour. I was this little 7th grader getting a tour, and I have them telling me all these things, and I'm like, okay. And now looking back, I'm like, I wish I would have enjoyed that more. Like,
wow,
took
wow.
it all in, because like nobody gets to do that.
That's
So
cool.
live in the moment, but always have an eyes forward to the future
Yeah.
Mhm.
kind of thing. Okay.
That's kind of how it
Yeah.
was first time I shook Justin's hand. I was like, he shook my hand. No, I'm kidding.
He still does that every
I'm
time,
totally
so
kidding. I
it's
shake.
all right.
No,
And he ain't washed it since, huh?
yeah, still ain't watched it. See that spot? No, that's
So,
crazy. SJ though. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
yeah, totally cool. We had so I got to help these guys when AU brought a camp here. I got to help these guys and go out on the field and all that. And again, I have my girls that are, range from 8th grade up into sophomores, and they were out there, all through my daughter batting practice. Montana Fouts did the gritty with one of my girls. And to see them, and I'm dead serious, they were there. For them to be able
Yeah.
to witness that was just so cool. And those are the things, to know that this is still a game. At the whole end of it all, it's still a game. And man, that's cool. So
I love it.
good.
Enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it, SJ. Thank you. You're so wise, SJ. Like I'm taking notes. I'm like, are you
Yeah.
sure? You're pretty wise for age. So Dan, go ahead, man, because that's
Yeah.
some good stuff.
Well, like you said, you mentioned Amanda Scarborough and Justin mentioned a lot of juggernauts in the softball world as we know it today. when you were younger, coming up in the 6th grade, 7th grade, and then on through high school and eventually into college, were there a couple of influences that kind of helped you on your path? Maybe a player or two that you wanted to mimic, or that played like you, or maybe had a similar path that maybe you can tell us about that influenced you to be who you are today?
It's good.
Definitely Kaylani Ricketts. I remember watching her in the 2013 national championship, and we were sitting out on like our back patio, and I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I want to go there. And so then I've looked up to her I followed her entire career. And then I got to meet her at a camp, and I was
Oh,
just
wow.
like, oh my gosh, you're her. And she knew my name, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That bucket list, huh? The bucket list
Yeah.
moment
yeah.
for you. Yeah, that's cool.
And I
That's
just like,
cool.
I admired, she just had this like, she's like very neutral with her stuff. But I just remember watching her, because they talk about like you always hustle everything out. And I remember her in the 2013 one, they were down and she had like a bad pop fly. And she sprinted and they dropped it. And she was at second base because she sprinted.
Mm.
And she didn't just like, oh man, feel bad for herself. And that ended up helping them win. So it's just kind of like, well, I want to be that kind of person. I want to do that.
So do you think it'd be do you think it'd be cooler to strike her out or watch her hit a home run off you?
Ooh.
I want to watch a home run because like
Wow.
I'd be like, wow, that went really far.
I love that confidence though, that quiet. It's like, I want to go do that. And you just do it. See, I'm trying to decide, do I want like pickles or chips for lunch? Or like, I want to hit a home run off of her. Like, you're so much like your level of like what you're doing is so much beyond mine. Go ahead, Dane.
So now that you're with Auburn now, and we've all followed you through your career in college, what are maybe one or two things that you're wanting to accomplish, over this winter break, and ultimately going into the season coming up in 2025? What are maybe a goal or two that you have coming up?
I want to get that because the way we've put it is I've kind of had 2 years to develop.
Mhm.
And so I was less than like that. I was competing every day. You had to compete every day. It was a dog eat dog at OU. But now it's like, all right, it's getting put into action. Like, we're gonna go. And so kind of putting myself into those competitive and like all out, everything's on the line kind of situations in practice that when I get there, I'm like, all right, this is nothing.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Elite player. I love it that you're saying this, and Justin and Dane, you guys have more coaching expertise on this than me, but you're like highest level, highest player. I mean, nationally televised, and you're still like, you treat the game like it makes you nervous a little bit. I can tell, and I love that about you. Like, you don't take it for granted. Am I saying that fair, SJ?
Yeah.
That's cool. Justin, you talk about this too. It's just a game, Dane, just a game. For the highest level from SJ to the littles at 4-6U, it's still just a game no matter how much like competitiveness is there. That's really cool. Well, SJ, there's a segment I promise you. I'd be willing to bet you money. We don't bet, but I bet you money. And all the interviews, all the press you've done, there's a segment of the show we're known for the past 2 years. It's called Rapid Fire. We're going to transition, have a little goofy segment for a minute. It's all PG, it's all clean, but I guarantee you've never had something like this. What we do, me, Dane, and Justin, we think we know what you're going to say. We're betting on what we think you're going to say. There's no wrong answer for this segment, SJ. You feel like you go with what you feel is right. We're going to ask you 5 questions. Anything's possible. Imagine time doesn't exist. You pick what you would go with, and we'll tell you whether we got what we think you were going to pick right or not. Sound good?
I lose this every time, SJ, so I'm just going to send over the Venmo now for lunch for these.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. We're good.
So SJ, there's no wrong answer. You pick what you want, and we'll tell you if we got almost kind of like a Family Feud is what it'd be like, and you tell us, and we'll go from there. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
So first question, you're called up, you're starting pitcher, obviously, Auburn, and 2 of these guys say, hey, we'd like to make you a hype song. Love them both. Very, very inspirational guys. Love them both. You got to choose to let Post Malone or Jelly Roll make you a hype song for your pitching debut. Which one are you going with?
Jelly Roll.
Oh my gosh, I had Post Malone. I really did. Dane, Justin, what do you guys have on that?
I'm finally winning one of these. Let's go.
Did you have Jelly Roll?
Yeah.
Dane?
Jelly Roll. Heck yeah, man.
Dang it. Okay, two-way tie. Oh, why is this happening to me? I'm falling behind, Dane.
Because it's about time.
It is. Okay.
About time with you.
SJ, check this out.
It's Justin's comeuppance here.
I love it. So imagine this next question is super SJ. Okay, so for this one, you're cast into a comic book series, and you can choose to be the leading lady in one of these two series. You can choose to be the next April O'Neil in the Ninja Turtles franchise, or you could be Lois Lane in the next Superman movie. April O'Neil, Lois Lane, which one are you going with?
Lois Lane.
Oh my gosh, I am 0 for 2. I cannot believe this already. Justin, would you have?
I had April O'Neil. I figured that the Lois Lane thing might be outside of her age, so I went with the Ninja Turtles.
Dang it. Dane, what about you? What'd you have, man? On that?
Lois. It's hard.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
My gosh.
Everybody want to fly with Superman, man. I want to go fly with Superman.
Okay, well, this lets me know that Dane, you're getting the questions and it's rigged. You guys are talking. SJ, did you give them your answers? I swear, I'm kidding. No. Okay, so far we got Lois Lane, we got Jelly Roll. Okay, next one. Check this out. I love your faith and how expressive you are about it. So you get to go back in time into like Bible days, okay? And like for some reason, like bobsledding is very popular. Like you're just going back in time. Like I want you to bobsled. You get to kick it with for the day and go bobsledding in this competition. It's like Bible bobsledding. You can choose to go bobsledding with John the Baptist or King David as like your sledding mate. Which one are you going with?
John the Baptist.
Finally got one right. Woo! Thank goodness, I finally got one right. He's crazy, so like he's aggressive, right? Dane, Justin, what do you guys have on that?
I got that one wrong. I was wrong.
Come up with these questions. Bobsledding in biblical times. All right, no, I had John the Baptist as well, but
Let's go.
Come on, man.
Let's go. So far, Dane's ahead, and I'm losing, and Dane and Justin are tied. We got two more. All right, check this out. So SJ, you're going back first opening game in Auburn. Okay, opening game, and you get a chance to kind of like have a pregame concert where like they want you to come out and sing. I've seen some of your stuff. You can sing, by the way. Justin and Dane, she can sing. So one of the things, you get to choose two of these artists to like do a cameo with on stage. You can do a song with Brooks and Dunn, or you can do a song with Luke Combs. Which way are you going?
Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, I got it right. Just kidding. I got it. Thank you. I got it right. Did you have Luke Combs, Justin?
Of course I did.
Okay, coming back. What about Dane? What'd you have?
No, I had Luke Combs.
That a point, Dan. Way to go down the ship with me.
Let's go. So it's a three-way tie. So this one right here is going to decide the winner. SJ, last question for rapid fire. Okay, last one. Okay. So SJ, your name and likeness, a very different way of NIL. You're transplanted into the next Mortal Kombat 13. SJ is a character, playable character. Okay, and your superpower in this Mortal Kombat, kind of fitting. You can choose to have like flaming fires of softball. So there's one thing, or you can choose to be like invincible in this Mortal Kombat. Flaming softballs, or would you rather be invincible as your SJ Mortal Kombat character? Which way are you going?
Invincible.
I had the flaming softballs. I can't believe this. Oh my goodness. Dane, Justin, what do you have on that?
I had the softballs as well. I think that you already throw enough heat.
I thought so too. Yeah.
So just adding fire to it would be
Justin, what do you have?
That much more devastating.
Because we about to take this belt home. I had her on invincibility.
Let's go.
Because it was too set up with the softball question. Perfect.
She went against me. SJ,
Finish her. Exactly.
So you actually, Justin, for the first time ever, you won a rapid fire. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
taking my Venmo request back. You guys don't get anything.
I'm sending you some Carl's Jr. with an expired coupon. I got you. It's on its way. Love it, dude. Well, SJ, hopefully that's something a little different you haven't had before. That's a little segment called Rapid Fire. So appreciate you being a good sport on that one. Good job, Justin.
That was fun.
Thank you. Good. I love it.
That's a biblical bobsled, man. I just can't get past that.
John the Baptist, dude. I love it. She knows what's up, like eat some honey, like and stuff, and rolling down
That's
the hill.
great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
That'd be so cool. Like, so SJ, remember that if like that ever happens, like I gave you that idea. Okay. So anyway, final segment, SJ, again, to keep conscious of time. We ask every guest we ever speak to, whether it's an athlete like yourself, a leader, inspirational leader, musician, obviously doing what you do. I love it that you give glory to God, and you also have no problem going after it, the drive, the championship mindset we meant what we said. But if you used to give advice, you probably get this this book of knowledge, right? What's a few things you give to someone that wants to be you one day? Maybe a piece of advice. What would you tell them that want to walk into your shoes one day? Yeah.
I would say one of my favorite verses is Colossians 3:23. It's actually written on my locker. It's whatever you do, work at for the Lord, not for human masters. And so I would tell them that work at it for the Lord,
I
whatever
love
you
that.
do, whether it's the having to go pick up balls or somebody's giving you the crappy end of a deal or something. I was like, it's for the Lord, and you can never go wrong when you're
I
doing
love
it
that.
for Him.
And it's crazy, SJ, because I love it about, again, humble superstar. So just pretty much like do it for God, do it for the right reasons, and then the success falls in line. Every time I've ever seen you, and Dane, you can attest to this too. You've never bragged, but you've always been successful. So I love it that your heart's in the right place. Definitely
absolutely.
heart's in the right place, right, Dane?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like they say, well, like you said, the verse says, "Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for the Lord." I mean, like they say also, if you want, rewards here, your rewards will be here. If you do it for the Lord, your rewards will be in heaven. So that's kind of how I took that when that verse comes along. So it's a great message for those youngsters that, want to follow in your footsteps.
I love it too, SJ and Justin. This is something you probably could speak on for a second. SJ, you national champion, and I love when I hear you talk about softball. It's you're excited more about, like, again, showcasing God, kind of doing it for the right reasons. It's cool that you're a national champion, but it feels like there's more excitement about doing it for the love of the sport, doing it for the love of showcasing God. Justin, that's like hard to champion. Like, what are you hearing when you hear that, Justin? How is that coming across to you as a coach? The way she's saying this,
I mean, it'd be naive to say that you play a game not to win. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, if you're a true competitor, you hate to lose. But if you're doing it for the right reason, in any athlete, if you're playing the game for the right reasons, you can soften the blow of the losses by knowing that why you're doing it is ultimately the most important. Whether you're praising God, whether you're praising yourself, whether it's whatever it is, if you can sit and look at it in the right reasons, that makes you an asset to the team, makes you an asset to yourself, organization, parents, however you want to break it down, that you're not so self-consumed of this is when or it's all been for naught. That's the absolute best mentality you can have, is that it is bigger than the W's and the L's, because you can be on the worst team in the country and have a louder voice and a bigger message than somebody who is playing at a top tier level but isn't presenting themselves correctly, if that makes sense. So
I love it.
Know who you are and stick by it and be proud of it all the way
Love
around.
it.
So that's how I would take that on my side of it. So
SJ, I can't say enough. Like, you're very specific with your word choice. I love that. Very, very tactful, very driven, very intentional. I know this is something that you made time to do this. I appreciate it. In closing, SJ, any final words for us? Because you've been so gracious with your time. Anything else you'd say, maybe that's on your heart, to the audience before we get you some time back in your day?
I would say that, like, going off of what Justin said with the praising the Lord, how it makes the losses feel much more different. It's the losses is more of like, all right, what do I need to do so that way maybe this doesn't happen again, or that way it's better on my part, and what can we do? And it makes the win so much greater because you're just like, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Wise beyond your words, wise beyond your years. So I want to say, Ashley, thank you. We'll be watching you all season. It's so good to see your growth and your continued development and leadership. Obviously, we'll be watching whenever you come through. We're here to see you. Hopefully we get to see it close again sometime soon. So on behalf of Justin, Dane, and I on the show, all of Wichita and everybody around the world that loves you, thank you for making time to do this. Make sure we make this the first of many. Don't be a stranger. Let's make sure we stay in touch and do this again sometime, okay? So
Thank
you,
you.
SJ. We love you. Much love,
Thank you.
okay? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
So, take care. So Dane, Justin, I'm telling you, that was awesome. Talk to me, Dane. What do you think?
Yeah. Like I say, like you said, very succinct, but every word has power. So you like hearing that from not only older people, but it's even more special when it's somebody younger that gets it. They know what path they're on. They have some convictions, and they don't need 50 words when 10 will do. And she's to the point, direct, and she obviously does the work because she's at this high level. And I can't wait for softball season to start now with the interviews we've had tonight. I can't wait to watch all the athletes we've interviewed.
Justin, you talk about work ethic. I was hanging on the word she said. Like, to me, I'd rather, like Dane said, she said 10 words to my 50 and it was more powerful. Wasn't that cool? She was just like, it was succinct, right, Justin?
It's amazing, to not really get off topic, back talk. We've talked when I've been with you guys, we've talked to, Savannah Wally, we've talked to girls that are at the absolute highest and they've been amazing. They've also been older, you know what I mean? So you get a conversation with somebody in their, 23, 24, 25-ish, they present themselves like that. This girl, she's big time. Like, she is big time. She is well known. She's played, at OU. She's at Auburn. You wouldn't know it by talking to her. She's, the word humble gets thrown around a lot. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, he's humble about this, humble about this. I don't know her that well. I bet you she is exactly the same way she was with us in every single aspect of her life. And at her age, that's absolutely amazing because it is real easy, especially now, college, NIL, everything. You can get paid to play, to stay in your own lane, to just know that, hey, I've got a reason I'm doing this. And if things come with it, fantastic. But I'm not bigger than the process. I'm not bigger than why I'm doing this. I'm not bigger than any of it. I'm just me, and I'm going to give you all I got, and I'm going to do it basically like an assassin. I mean, that's a put it, you know what I mean? Just a silent assassin of humbleness, and she was awesome. For that age, that's unreal. Talking to her in that way.
Dane, we say this all the time. We don't get speeches very often, but I was kind of like, I'm just listening. Like, I didn't need to talk. I'm just go ahead, just do your thing. So that was that was a good one. That was a great way to kick off season 4. This week's been great, hasn't it, Dane? So
I mean, if this is even a piece of what's to come, I can't wait for the future here.
We've learned our lesson. We won't even spill the beans. Let's just say next week's going to be huge. You guys just stay tuned. But I will say, in the sake of time, for all of you out there, we love you so much. On behalf of Dane and Josh, Justin, thank you, Coach, for stopping by. Justin,
yeah, absolutely.
We're always honored to have you with us as a co-host. Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
thank you for listening.
Okay.